Mr. Ng. I wanted to show you guys questions on our old practice tests. Which questions will be okay to have calculator? Those are with the green checks, and with the red X, that means no calculator. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll through the front and back. Remember, we didn't get to cover question number 7. And then on the back side, 17, 18, 19, 20. Some questions are skipped on purpose, and then 25 and 27. Here are the solutions.
So my question is number 5. The question states, if Gina buys a car for $13,500, assume that its value will decrease by about 15% per year. Write an exponential function to model the value of the car. Graph the function. When will the value fall below 3,000? Okay, so for me, I use the equation P of t equals P1 parentheses x plus 1 parentheses t. So I basically inputted the 13,500 into P1 because that's the original value, and then for the parentheses I put in the 1 minus, since it's a decreasing value. That's why I put in a minus, and then the 0.15 is basically the percent but turned into a decimal point. After that, I input it into the calculator, and then this is what I got from the graph. So essentially around after 9.3 years, the car will be below 3,000.
How you can tell is that if the number that you're multiplying to is less than 1, it's going to be decay. So since this one is less than 1, it'll be decay. This one that you're multiplying to is less than 1, so it's decay. Multiplying to is more than 1, growth. Another way you can check is you can put the equation on your calculator, and it'll show you the graph, which you can see like will go up for growth.
This is equivalent to log base 5 12 minus log base 5 4. So first, since it's subtracting will be converted to division. So you would get log base 5 12 to the 4th. Then when simplified, you get log base 5 to the 3rd, because 4 goes into 12 3 times. So once it's simplified, that's the answer. Thank you.
Hello, this is Jonathan Villegas for...
Question number 8 says the parent logarithmic function f of x equals ln of x is shifted to rights 2 units to the right. So your c value there is 2 in purple. 7 units down, so that's going to be my d value, so that'll be -7. And the horizontal stretch by a factor of 6. Pay attention, although this is your b value, the horizontal ones are pretty tricky. It's 1 over b. 1 over b. So in your formula on this particular question, they have theirs as b. The b is on the inside. So when I write this, this would be 16x minus 2. 16x minus 2 minus 7. And then this would be choice G is your answer. And then I showed my colors of the shifting just as a visual to help you realize what's happening.
I got question number 9. What is log base 27, 9? What I did was equal it to logs, and then I switched these two and ended up getting, and brought down the base and ended up getting 27 logs equals 9, and the exponent would be 2 over 3.
Well, I got question number 10, which I have to write in the alternative form. It's in exponential form right now, so I have to change it to log form. And first what I did was switch these two, and then brought down 16 as the base, and write log 16 base 2 equals 1/4.
Question number 11 says write in the alternative form. So if I look at this problem here, I have an exponential form because there is no log. So 16 is my base. This is what's going down below. Then we're going to switch these. So I have log base 16 to the 1/4 equals negative 0.5. And another way of writing that is just, all we had to do is just switch them. And that's your answer. Now, I kind of wanted to expand, what is that? How does that work? Remember, negative 0.5 is like negative 1/2. And how is that equal to 1/4? Remember, the negative exponent tells you go downstairs. And although there's nothing left, there's always a factor of 1 in the numerator. So you have 1 times 16 to the 1/2 power. And now recognize that when you go downstairs, the negative goes away. Remember the 1/2, watch as I write out, this is 16 to the 1st power, and then the denominator becomes the index. So what is the square root of 16? The answer is 1/4. So that's a quick review of the negatives. Negative exponent.
Write in the alternative form, exponential or logarithmic. Mine's already in log form, so I'm going to have to take it from log form to exponential. And the way we do that is I rewrite the problem. Log 1/4, 64 equals negative 3. Then we switch the negative 3 and the 64, and then our base is negative 1/4. So we have 1/4, that's our base. Negative 3 and 64. And that is our answer. You can stop.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Alvarez and I will be writing the alternative form of log. So expression we have here is log base 81 1/3 equals negative 1/4. So the first thing you're going to do is bring down 81. The next thing you can do is realize that you can switch 1/3 and negative 1 to the 4th. So you will end up having base 81 negative 1/4 equaling 1/3. You will end up having this as your final answer.
Okay guys, so I have question number 17, which pretty much states to simplify log 4 of 128 minus log 4 of 8. I usually just like to rewrite the problem so I can have more room to work. So from there we notice that the log has the same base of 4 on both sides, and both logs are subtracting. And from the properties of log, subtraction is equal to a quotient. So you're pretty much just going to rewrite that to be log 4 of 28 divided by log 4 of 8. Okay, so on the day of the test, if you're just in a hurry or you forgot your calculator, you can just do some simple work on the side, and you notice that 128 divided by 8 equals 16. So although you know that log 4 equals 16, you have to identify that it also equals 2. And from here, you can just check your work by stating that if you just put log 4 of 16 equal to x, and you move 4 down to the basement, you have to identify what x is equal to, which is pretty much 2. So 4 squared equals 16. And then from there, you can just, 4 squared equals 16. So the final answer would be log 4, 16 equals 2.
Pre-calc period 1, chapter 3, old test. This problem is problem 18, which says simplify log base 2 to 12.8 plus log base 2 5. So how you would first start, since they're both the same base, you would just bring down the whole entire structure, log base 2, end up bringing it down, and you would just, since addition turns into multiplication, you would just bring down the 12.8 and the 5, and you would just put them together as if they were going to multiply. Pretty much it.
To simplify log base 3 243 squared, the only thing you have to do is move 2 to the front. So the answer is 2 log base 3 243.
To simplify 5 log base 5x, you're going to move the 5 to the exponent, and it'll be log base 5x to the power of 5.
The rate at which a liquid vitamin breaks down in the average human body can be modeled by y equals d times 0.95 to the power of x, where y milliliters of the original dose of 15 milliliters to be reduced to less than 5 milliliters. So we know that x is going to be the number of minutes, which is what we're going to find, and the original equation was y equals d times 0.95 to the power of x. So I'm replacing d because that is the original dose, which is 15 milliliters, and then we're going to try to find x. And so we're going to do that by plugging it into our calculator. And so we're going to go to second graph so we can get a table, and we're going to find the numbers that are less than 5. And the first one that we see is 22, so we're going to plug in 22 for x. So we're going to do that. 22. Now we're gonna take our calculator again. We're gonna go to up, clear. Y equals clear. And then we're gonna solve that. And once we do that, 0.95 to the power of 22 is equal to 0.3 times 15, 4.85. Well, that was already on the table. Let's put 530. Okay.
Hi, my name is Raisin Begain, and I will be doing question number 27 from the Chapter 3 test review. So the question was, f of x equals ln x is shifted 2 units left and 1 unit up and is vertically stretched by a factor of 3. Write the transform function. So for reference, I just rewrote the original function here, f of x equals ln x. And since I have to shift 2 units left, I remember that x plus c and x minus c is what makes it go to the left and to the right. And so that would mean that the equation will be ln x, and since it's to the left, it will be plus and 2 units. So that's the next step. So I will just put a quick check mark there. And since you have to shift 1 unit up, that will be outside, so nothing affects inside right now. That is done. And so I just put D for outside because all these other variables were taken. So since it was 1 unit up, it would be plus 1 on the outside. So I will just put a check mark there because that's done. So now our equation is ln x plus 2 plus 1. And now the last thing we have to do is vertically stretch by a factor of 3. So I know that vertically stretch will affect the a value, which is in front of the ln, the natural logarithm. So I know that will change. And since it's by a factor of 3, it will just be plus 3 right here in front of the ln x, plus 2 plus 1. So that is your solution for this problem. F of x equals 3 ln x plus 2 plus 1. Thanks for watching my video.
Say it again.